Today, program basically they look into the different road them na different part in the country and for can help we for discuss the status of some of them road there. Inside the program this afternoon, I get Charles Mambu, Chairman Board of Directors, Infrastructure for Development. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to Radio Democracy.
Good afternoon, my brother. Good afternoon, Radio Democracy, and good afternoon to the people of Sierra Leone.
All right. Firstly, Mr. Mambu, start for tell listeners what are the function of the directors of infrastructure for development?
Yeah, well, infrastructure for development and civil society consortium. We get representative from every district of this country. We they be established some 15 years ago. 5 years ago, then be elect me. Invite and elect me to be the chair of the board, and the board is representative of CSOs, where they look at infrastructure generally across the country. And this infrastructure, where they look at 5 thematic areas. They look at the transport infrastructure. Transport infrastructure gets 3 subdivisions. You get the road, you get the rail, and then you get the air. And inside the road, you get the one that we motoka the waka, pana, and you also get the train. After that, you get electricity. When energy, you get energy infrastructure, water infrastructure, housing infrastructure, and ICT infrastructure. For the last couple of years, because studies and what we do and other people then do, this country and other area that show say 95% of the movement of people then and goods in Africa and Sierra Leone in particular. Now one of them sub infrastructure then they use and then they na the road. Almost 95% of what they do na road they use. So because of that, we decide in one of our strategic meeting for do a lot of concentration on the road, because you know see when you get the road, you get the other things then. Now you ask the question, what is really na road? From what we know and what the experts then be don't tell we is that road na that any parts with something they move, you know, where they use for move. Even the food where they take put on a month, they go down reach na with Bele in a road patch day. And me for the last years then where I don't the number of years where I don't take for work with colleagues and this structure and the government agencies, and I they get the conviction, I may not be right, that God really, you know, be make the road before any other things that we make. Because I can believe say even Adam and Eve, we the people, the religious people that they tell we God say let them not eat the fruits where it show them. It means na road and they take for go reach to that root, that fruit there. So which means there is nothing anybody can do in the whole world where you know they use road. There is nothing. You know, if they go there, some people go take 2-3 days and not drink water. They not use light. They not use ICT. They not in a hose. Some man even free tire, but woman they not they sleep in a hose. But definitely anything where they do na road. So road na the catalyst for development, which means all development, not only in Sierra Leone, all of them are the whole world na road na dey na. When the First and Second World War done, the Europe, the countries that where they dey na Europe, the master plan where they make 5 of them. 4 of the master plan for redevelop Europe na road na them put. Now that means if you go Europe, you go America, the thing where they see past all other things, the most development where they see na road. Then they build road inside water, then build and panta, then use so many of them. Because when once you get good one, it go. So definitely in addition you call road. So we as CSO in Sierra Leone, we say okay, let's focus and partner with the people there. Now if you look at Sierra Leone, we get people in a way they're responsible. We government, of course, government ain't responsible for all things. But within the road sector, you get key players then. The first one are the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, like Aaron Kikola, or Ministry of Works and Public Assets, as it is now. Now they really, now the ministry where government mandate for supervise road and public assets. After that, you get the other institutions where the act where then come into being as a result of the act in 1992 when at the Sierra Leone Road Authority. Then you the key function for really make sure say they manage the road itself down at the surface of the road. They make the road and also manage and supervise the road asset. There are so many assets, including bridges. So the whole of Sierra Leone, the institution where they in charge of road, for maker, for manager, and look at in the resource in asset, now the Sierra Leone Road Authority. But by 2010, they also bring another agency where is responsible for provide some amount of money, for maintenance roads then. As a result of study from World Bank and other people, they say, okay, we know I let this person be prayer and referee. So then bring in another agent, and that agency is today now the Road Maintenance Fund Administration, we call it RMFA. So that one, then maintenance, funding for maintenance, where they get money from user fee, road fees and other, now you support 70% according to the act, they go to SLRA, and the 20% they go to local council, where they also they support them for feeder road, small bridges, and 10% for administration. Right. So, but all them where I don't call so, you get other person where they coordinate the activity and the resources and how for go. And that one, the Ministry of Finance, of course, knows everything about finance today, and also a strong political direction, final political direction from His Excellency the President from State House level. Right. So this now what they call the road, and these are the key players then, now the road network in Sierra Leone. Right. But beyond that also, because road very important, one of the things that we get in Sierra Leone, there are other agencies where then where then also they make road as a result of the support where either the government or the donor partners they give them. For instance, you get NAXA. NAXA they do community roads, perhaps to some extent in collaboration with SLRA, as the case may be, because SLRA now get supremacy, right, over roads, maintenance, over road development, and supervision. You also get one World Bank support project where they call SCADEP. SCADEP, they under Ministry of Agriculture. But part of their activity for the last couple of years, then also be done, they go in and support feeder road and bridges, because when we talk about road not a connectivity in a bridge, because when you meet up water, you meet up swamp and other things, we say for make covered or bridge you get for make and day. Right. So then day where they support. Of late, we don't get another one. When an international labor organization, we call an ILO, then self don't can, and then they under the Ministry of Labor, you understand, where then they do labor-based work, right, for youth and other way, then say get your resources for do. So now normally we own conviction that all them people then they for be supervised and managed by the Sierra Leone Road Authority. But however, as we go in some of the threats and disadvantages, I can tell you who's there.
Okay. Now, you just don't mention about different institutions them within the road sector, and self you mention about how important road be. So as of now, how you go assess the different road them across the country?
Yeah, thank you very much. We get different type of roads, and they all get different name. The biggest roads we'll get now what they call the trunk roads or the highway, like the one where they come off Freetown, they go take Kwendu. The one where they come off Freetown, Makini, Putloko, take go down at the trunk road, where they call on the highway, and they connect from the city to the district headquarters towns. Then we get other one that when a feeder roads, down at the one that way they come out the district within the district, where then self they go and the other small chiefdoms then they way for feed with other people then. There is other one there where we they call the lane, the routes. Then why are they mostly now inside them big town then the township like the one Freetown. We go Yerise, we get the lane, Tiso lane, this now the routes where they pass, so this now the streets where it is inside town, you know, then why they all day. So they beaucoup according to the class and which side they also find them. But make I tell me Mambu then the state as we sit. What is the status of the road? According to SLRA, when at the Australian Road Authority, we get over 11,000 kilometers of road in Sierra Leone. As we sit, less than 50% of the road then are the tar, which means we then get really tar, where they run smoothly, you know, they meet up gallop. You know, less than 50 or even 40%, you know, they much. But when you look at the Sierra Leone, how we should also now, we get before the former government bring in Karine and Falaba, when a new district and where they enter, we began about 14 districts before they were. So as of now, from the past government of APC up to SLPP under President Bill, we get a tarmac road to up to 12 of the districts then, which means you left Freetown, you go Putuloko, Natal, you get. Say you go Cambia. From Freetown, you go McKinney, Natal. From McKinney, you go Kabbalah, Natal, even though with recent assessment, don't see say nearly about 60-70% of that tar they don't well. From Freetown, you go straight to Mobruka, within at the north, Natal, take up to Kono, a star road. From Freetown, you can move now to Moyamba Johnson, and Moyamba is a tar road. From Freetown, you can go to Kenema, Bo and Kenema, Natal, up to Kailan, is connected with a tar road. So, out of that 14 districts, now 2 districts we don't left, we not get tar. We tar no, you know they come up Freetown, you reach in at the district headquarters where they use tar, till you reach there. One of them districts then Pujeon. The tar road don't go to Bandajuma. Of course, from Bandajuma to Mano River is also a tar road where they don't do it. But from Bandajuma to Pujeon, it don't go yet. In fact, according to our assessment, then be awarded contract to one of the contractors where it take over 12 to 15 years, it not be done here. But with the advent of SLRA of recent, through the support of the government, Ministry of Finance, they don't really now grade the road up to Pujeon and then they do a bridge. And one of the contractors, then they win a first spike on, now then they do that road there. As we sit here, one of the districts, of course, maybe don't talk about what really they cry for in terms of road network. Now from Bo to Matrujon, and this Matrujon, and the president be come. That will be one of the districts where the road distribution network, the government they be done a great time. They really be done a great time. You understand? So we under President Bill, they be done able for do 10 kilometers of the road from Bo to Tikonko. But from Tikonko to Matru, it not happen yet. What they do, they distribute the road into 2 categories of 3. The first one, Bo to Tikonko, they don't do one. First strike or don't tar. But the other one, from Tikonko to Bumpe, Petema, then from Petema to Matru. Petema to Matru, they be don't award the contract to one Ghanaian company where they call Malipoma. But Malipoma before don't do that work there in 24 hours, in 24 months, according to their promise. As we sit, it's almost 12 to 13 months. The last assessment we will do with SLRA and the new minister, Dr. Sandy, they have done very little, as we also sit down here. So up to this time, you know they come off free time, you go now. Matrujon Pataro. Now that makes sense. Matrujon and Pujeon boss not they go, the government boss not they reach there because the roads are very, very bad. Right. But that Matrujon road, it can become worse. Again, 2 years ago, the Bumpe, there is a river there where the bridge, now old colonial bridge, one machine go inside there, and the care material go, it pour the bridge. To we surprise up to this time as we should we not able to fix that bridge there yet. So as we should so now, if you want go through where people they want go, then they suffer, then they suffer. Because if you dey bow, if they left bow, you cannot Teama. If from Teama you can't Jala, then you take Jala now for go straight na bumper. Right. So, but Petima to Matru, they be done award. Now, government through the Ministry of Finance, SLRA, they also they talk to one of the donor then for let them do the one from Tikonko to Petima for let them do, and that one they did in progress. So the status of the trunk roads then, as we see don't so now that's not so a day, right. You know, as it is. And now comes Falaba and Karine when I come and because under the former regime of His Excellency Dr. Anespai Kuruma, they be award the contract for do McKinney to Kamakwe, you know, to one of the construction companies, CSC. Then do really then go far. But we say the money done and they then left. So up to this time, Tano reach Kamakwe okay. When at the district they contract. As you see down, there is work, effective work now where they go between Kabbalah and Mongo, when at Falaba. For Tada Road day, right. Where one of the construction company when a pavi for now in they do that work day. Okay. You understand? As you should don't it go. But because the town not reach now, they keep district headquarters that way now Mongo. I'm not gonna tell you say it don't reach, it not reach it, it not reach it.
So let's look at the Matru John Road. You just mentioned say myself remember say that company they mean, you know, tell people them say 24 months them then go down actually done that would do. As civil society, we don't monitor different road in the country. We are not able to engage for letting una know which are the reason we make up till now. They're not able for deliver that road day.
Yeah, no, that is it. Now because of money, either the government provide the money with the require money with them. They be done almost which I know officially they be don't go into contract with one construction company and that one I go and tell Fambu then and it better make a tell them now. Where government they do this, the road, you get and then they do them through private, local, international companies. When then they bid, there is a procurement bidding where then really they go. The guys then are SLRA headed by engineer Amara Kanin. They are highly qualified. You understand? If now they no more, if now they get all the money, then go down do all the road. But because they don't get all the money, there are so many difficulties. Now in Sierra Leone, we get 3 major local companies where they really they do road work and they don't try which side they don't put them. And as they talk, then they talk. The first one is Paviford. Paviford is headed by one Mr. Alimo. You know, it don't work na Kabbalah, it don't work na Kono, it don't work na Tonya, it also they work now na the township of Kenema. You know, it really they do that work there. And now they do Kabbalah to Mongo when a Falaba. The other one are Gento, we know all those Gento group of company. One of the things where they do na road. You know, if you look at the part of the Drazak Farm up to Hikot Road, now then do one. And I then do the first overhead bridge where anybody can think of. Which I bridge the Motukade Waka under Gento, now do one and Hikot Road. So far we recording it. There's another one we called Sikon. Sikon they work at the far west of this city. They do a lot of city roads and he also they do the bridge na Kwenadugu district. One bridge where they link Kwenadugu, Yifi, you know, to Masindi. Now they don't go there twice. So they do. At the international level, you get one of the oldest company we don't do in this country over 30-35 years when a CSC in Senegalese company, you know, we and don't do so much roads in this country. It's so boku that I'm not able to tell Fambu them all. That one is followed by another one where then they call Sarkost. Of course, they go change in name now to Wellbeing. Sarkost now they do Bumbu now, they do a lot, then they do not only road, but they do a lot of other electrical, other infrastructures then where they get the capacity for. They say don't do a lot. In fact, now they do the Maishaka Bo Highway, then they walk na Bo, they walk na McKinney. If you go see the kind good things that we have, roads that way they McKinney, they were they do, including Bo itself. So they walk there. So they were then they. But you also get funders then. when international partners and when they help the Sierra Leone government for provide money for trunk road, the biggest fund that we don't get, where they help this country for do road for the last 30 or more years, now the European Union. They don't so much fund put money on road and long distance road, like for instance, Banajuma to Mano River Bridge. You were talking about the Mabambre, the Rubere Bridge, the Moyamba Johnson to Moyamba. They were then funding it and then do one. Now they provide the money. Now they also provide the money for Rubere throughput local to Cambia and to Guinea border. Okay. You understand? So they are, but we also get Badia. Badia said they do now one Arab institutions down the donors then. They're not the only fund role, but they do a lot of other one there. You also get the World Bank. World Bank, they provide money for a lot of feeder roads and other related areas, and where they all they jump in for doing. There are many other, but these are some of the key one there where then they help. But in each of them funding where then donor then they give, you get what you call counterpart funding. The counterpart funding at the government of Sierra Leone they give. And there is a percentage to that. If government of Sierra Leone not give you, they not give you. You understand? So any road who say we see people they come in and they walk must not say government of Sierra Leone get a young capital where it don't put the way under what you call the counterpart funding across the country. So this now the construction. You also get the Chinese. Among the big Chinese companies, they will get one and CRSG. CRSG don't do the toll road, warranty to Manshaka, where they then go into agreement, build, operate, and transfer for 27 years. Then start for work on the July 17. Now they open that road the way they know they collect the money. There is a lot of agreement and some other things into this. As at the talk, we are also looking into that. That company also don't do a lot of highway. It don't work na Port Loco. It don't work na this Naya. You get another one way na CRIG instead they work here in the township. All you right. Get other one way na Chico as we see down. Chico and Sarkos na then do Matutuka to Konoro, then divide that into two. After that, Chico also go do resurface boat to Bandajuma Road. As we talk now, Chico na do Penembo to Kailan. And recently, they don't award the contract for do Kailan to Buedu. We now some of the roads and away they under construction where we can't talk about that. So this time we get the Chinese, we get the Senegalese, and we also get we own brothers there. Out of we brothers, then we would then get at the higher level, now 3 of them. Okay. Pavifor, Gento, and Sicom.
All right. Now, you mentioned we don't get a lot of, development partner them. We don't put money, for construct different road than the country. Again, as civil society, we don't monitor the road there. Them money there with them development partner they give. Actually, don't they reflect now some of the road they own don't they monitor?
Yeah, no, to a large extent. I can tell you, say it don't reflect. To some, it cannot be totally how we want them. Because we also with the world, we are not engineers. And like I tell you earlier, the supervising agency and the key engineering body for road and bridges and Sierra Leone Road Authority, and they have perfect men and women waiting also there for do that. But they reflect on they both on the side of government and on the side of development partner, but don't they see them? Because they road all what they talk about. If you work at it, you see say they don't make from Freetire to Manshaka, the toll road system. You can see it there from Freetire, Manshaka, to go to Kailan, it don't make from Rubere Junction to the border through Port Loco and Cambia. That's why they don't do. There are a lot of others where they happen. I want to talk about that under some of the threats to the road network, because I'm not saying people and we say can be very, very interested. And I really want to let people that listen and may I tell them some of the threats, because even when the rain comes, we see the Freetown, the fraud, pothole, and the rest of it all day.
Yeah,
you understand? Yeah. And you see a lot of. So I be just want to go inside, lay the foundation. What are the key threats to road development, especially in Sierra Leone, and I'm sure in other countries then, because I'd also look at roads from other parts of the world, including Africa. But in Sierra Leone, one of the biggest threats we'll get with the Ambogu road network now the rain. The downpour of rain we will get in Sierra Leone is so heavy that pass plenty country in the world. And rain and road not to paddy. There are two God make them all, but there are two not to paddy. And the one way it gets strength past the other one, na the rain. Because anytime rain can, you know, the possibility for let Ipue road Iboku. Last year we flooding occur in Germany. We didn't get the best system, also one of the best in the world. You know, over 5,000 kilometers of road inside Germany, they go, they wash, and that time, the time when they put in a pantab doti. So if rain was under here, they go. The other threat we'll get for the road, where sometimes when they see the road and they produce already, now the money. Like I tell you now, we get donor the way that they contribute money. Sometime 1995, then you get the 5% of government of Sierra Leone they give. But at the same time, there are so many other roads, especially township road and few other trunk road, where the government of Sierra Leone, in no more from the past to this present, now then they provide that money there. Some people can ask, what do you make road and they delay? The road work and Boku infrastructure can make in general. One of the biggest factors we can make the delay in that money. The payment of money either from the government or from the donor. Let's go to donor. The donor criteria, the procurement process for let them make road from the time when they start, let's say the highway, this time when they start and the time when they end, sometimes you know they take less than 3 years because it's back and from. Some of them were government through your procurement system, we go one let them do it quick. But because government not go get the money all at the same time because of so many other competing priority, they can start, but the end quick. I can give you 2 roads where they don't take, but thank God one done. The hillside bypass road. By the time he passed hillside bypass road, they done early this year. The construction work take 18 years. The construction work take 18 years because the government get for look for money, they get for relocate people then, they inside the township. So many for walk road na township is difficult and more costly than the one way they do na the highway. I also want sometimes with people that can say, oh, this road where they do the cost is too much. It do yes, some it can be that. But when I know from the figure where some of we get that township, the one where they make that turn. It costly past the one where they make the highway because it take past the highway because inside town when they do the road, the contractor they under obligation that they're not for block traffic, therefore allow people's and goods movement, including vehicle. So that one they also they cause a lot of delay. We get another one where now Lumbly to Toke. Lumbly to Toke as we sit now is about 20 years old. And it don't left about 3 to 4 between 3 and 5 kilometers waiting for tar now. And that company where they do on a CSC. That same CSC now they do also his side bypass road. But as God may have it, we put a lot of pressure and it don't change. It began with President Kaba, Paneska, and Pabio don't end up. But it took 18 years from the time when they started up to the time when they don't know. The Lumbly Toke Road is almost 20 years. He also started with former President Kaba, former President Anes Kuruma, and he also don't end into the terms of President Biu. It says as you sit now is about some, about between 3 to 5 kilometers waiting for tar. If the money be done there, I'm sure they go down do it. So 2 things: the rain, it got big impact on the road. The second one, and the money. The inflow and the outflow of money, which side they come and which side they reach to the contractors then, is so important that when once it delay, the contractors are a highly experienced engineer and accountant. When you give them money, which side that money they done a day. So now if that means the mechanic and Macquarie not done. As we see some, because we said they give them money where the money don't, and that one in a highway. But the then government of His Excellency President, former President and Spike then be the founder. So we said they stop small. When they go take and stop now, so the company he end up. So that time he threat. The other big threat where the road get a human activity. And in Sierra Leone, that's one of the biggest one where they are bogging. You think of trading, go na Freetown. You go na Rodin Street, a block. Na market area, then dig. You understand? The human factor in Sierra Leone, for instance, in our city roads, we don't turn city garages. I wonder if any street there na Freetown way garage no dey pana. We get to do a recharge on that for no. You understand? Street trading, if you allow traders, they can even go sell na State House. They will actually be there. And all kind markets, whether it's good, it's bad for the road and the rest of one egote. But what did they encourage that one day na politics and a bad politics, my family them. What you when they see where traders, the one that when they do garages and they even the one that when they sell motorcar, go na side street, go na Cambo Street. You see how them Belgium vehicles, they don't block all the road then. But it's just politics, self-interest politics and bad politics. Because if somebody there in opposition, he go say, oh, when we can they put the traders then, so that we make the road free, fair, and very safe for the people. But when they can, they know they do it. And sometimes SLRA, the hands are tied behind and back. Because some action then they, when me they pardon, wait for take some action, including the clearing of the right of way. Then get what they call the right of way. There is a measurement between the center of the road to the end of the road in township and also for highway. But they're not the government, they're not agree. Past and present, they not agree for the law be implemented simply because of so many interest group and interest area. That's why you the city. The next one now the potholes and road again. In addition to the rain, so we don't call the low level of money. The other factor where it also the one are the human factor. People then they dig, then they dig that road either for put water pipe, for pass electricity cable, or for connect from one place to another.
So it's not
without reference to SLRA and to any other thing. So and people do it with impunity. Right. You know their thing.
So if somebody want to do that, Mr. Mambu, what's not the route way for take?
You know when you want dig road or you want build by the side, the supremacy of supervision and management of road in Sierra Leone lies on the feet of the Director General of the Sierra Leone Road Authority and in team. 99% of the people they know they go there. You understand? Some of them they will with the monitor go see and send a report. Then they go tell you say, hey, Pamabu, this what you don't talk, not true. But we how do them go now? These 2 days are past now. Mauritania Junction, okay. The new road they don't cut them. Mauritania Junction and Abadi Road. Somebody don't go bring machine, he dig, he don't cross across. And when he dig, you know, tar the car every day. Waiting at the effect, as they rain the car and sound the bitter now, and they undermine. So by nature, you not be careful, the Wickensie Road, now Mauritania Junction and Abadi, it go cut. Right. Then we go say, oh, government not spend money, oh, government not this. Now let's see who side the maintenance money they come on, when are the road maintenance fund. Road maintenance for 70% of the money where they collect, they go to SLRA according to the act. 20 they go to local councils. You understand? But then they say the money where they come on in Sierra Leone, where we do the statistics, you know, the road charges in Sierra Leone, now we are the list. Now we are the list of the road charges so they pay. So that RMFA will get money for do the roads then through SLRA. Nice. And because the resources where themselves they get is too small, and the central government resource also too small, they can only do the small little where we that pothole na the see. These are the factors who are responsible why Freetown and other town they get so many potholes. Right. The lack of limited money, the human resource, and the lack of implementation of the road. And I can link that with the feeder roads. Right. There was a time where government put release for make feeder roads and for strengthening. And like I say, almost 95% of all roads in Sierra Leone, from the time when they elect me as a chair of the board, physically I don't go there. Me now I possibly left for travel. They travel very wide, by sea, by air, and by road. You understand? You go find out, say, the timber trading and the use of heavy duty vehicles when we get in this country, and it's not controlled because the local authorities they hand the securities, part of them, they hang with it, and the rest of it. All them feeder roads where government they make it as they make, including the donors themselves, because World Bank they do and Truskadep and the rest of NATSA they do and SLRA they do and IRO they do and them want to carry the poor land. They want to carry the poor land in no starting time because the rules, the law where they put, nobody know the enforcer. And we take the business bigger than the road itself. And the road maintenance is costly than even the cost of the entry ladder. When you put them together, they're not able to make 10, 15 kilometer road. When you really want to let them do an standard. Right. So the law and the implementation enforcement is also very weak.
Okay.
Across the country, you see that the feeder roads or they make it today to Marden Point. In addition to the kind of rain where we get, no matter which engineering way we use, you understand? Those are some of the factors then where they limit and threat road development in Sierra Leone.
Mr. Mambula bring you Kandong na Freetown. Wilkins to be specific. You said don't mention we see for Mornington Junction to Abadi Road, we see the activity them where they go there and it don't pass over 2 months. And decide the way they don't dig up till now. People where they pass there with Mutka, they get challenged.
Yeah, I agree with you, my brother. Wilkins Road and many other roads in the city. You know, we in Freetown in general, because government not get the will, you know, the development will and the political will for enforced law where they protect the road and the city. Wilkins Road and many other roads they pull. Like I said, then 2 days they were past here, I almost cried because when you look at the amount of money government they spend through RMFA, SLRA, Ministry of Finance, then they spend for getting roads and now people they don't go dig. All kind the board now they meet and Wilkins Road and when they put it and dig, then they dig. Whether they cross from this point to this point, if they put and they cut the road. You know, without any reference to the supervising agency when at the Sierra Leone Road Authority. Nobody, everybody can just do one. And this is one of the things where we in our last report we will present to His Excellency the President and SLRA and the Minister. Coordination not there in the road sector. You know, limited coordination is the key. When anybody get resources from donor or from government can just go about it do. Forgetting the fact that there is a primary institution where Parliament of Sierra Leone give the law and the mandate for supervise, maintain, and ensure that the road becomes safe at all times when at the Sierra Leone Road Authority. You go to extra one do something that they go ahead with very or little coordination with SLRA. You go to the mobile companies and they want pass and cable and the rest of it all, that's what you go. You go to Sarkos or Guma, they want dig the road and the rest of this one. That is it. And above all, the private people, where they go say, oh no, why this house they get water, where we not get water? So what will they do? Then they can't cut the pipe, they dig the road sometime at night, then connect it. And which side they dig out and they left her. But the authorities of government, they see which side that would have cut that pipe and which side the pipe they go. The question is, what did they go do with that person there? We have the law on right of way. How many meters from the center of the road in town when you get for left and on the highway when you get for left? Anybody they adhere to that? No, they know they do one. But if you want to take the required action, either for broke the house or they broke the buffer and the rest of it, somebody somewhere above you we call you, hey, Mr. Director General, this one, now so be, you don't say, now we party people there, now we all day, now we young people there, oh, Abacha, if you not pull them now, they don't get for vote for you don't say, Abacha, now the population high. So that thinking, that thought, if they bring them road there, more fuel, and government also they spend money, we say government not go get the money for pay, for spend on them, now then with the do so, like that why they see the pack. Again, what we know, we don't do the study, we don't know with the engineer then. Almost 70 to 80% of all roads in Freetown are now old and outdated. They were built by our colonial master. What every government from Pakabapa, Anes, Pabio, then they do na pack and they pack. But in actual development, if we have a true national development plan, we go transcend beyond politics. You know, President Bio no go make a way other one posika Ikenja, or Pakaba make a way pa Aneska Ikenja, or Panes make a way pa Bioka Ikenja. No, national development no they go by that. National development not for Sabi politics, enough of Sabi party. You understand? Now the people they no more if for Sabi. That is how the other national development and what some of we don't see in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Rwanda. We say we don't go see them. Then the national plan. It gave beyond far quality whether they whether na Mambu they or na they. No, if they say this year na this road will they make and a show will they make and they don't want to know. Senegal, you go to Senegal, you know, when they do the plan. But Sierra Leone, one of the biggest faults we will get as a development expert where I don't do development in Sierra Leone and other country for over 20 years, we not get master plan. We plan the whole they make na 5 year, na 10 year. Where government come on or this policy go, the one where they can, a new one it they make. So we know the progress. And let me tell you this. President Bio don't come with this time round, he come with Feed Sierra Leone. I have a big meeting with the ministry. The big Feed Sierra Leone is not a 5-year program, national development plan. It will go about 10-15 years because Sierra Leone has been hungry and is still regarded as one of the hungriest countries in the whole world. So 5-year plan not the one. And above all, when Sierra Leone politics, I tell some people a few days ago, President Biode for really fully control this country now just 3 years. Because by 2026, 2027, there's going to be heavy fighting among the party without the succeed President Bill. Without will take this position. So that one day the development plans say whether they make them they lay and fall. They say they don't fall. Will they go to a party convention? Will they go to national this one? But that development where people then for it and they roll for me, ain't not the way to go not make a polite way. If it deteriorate, it will continue for deteriorate. It deteriorate, it will continue for the so Sierra Leone don't get the national development plan. You understand? The last 5 years we make it. We not don't assess IA for say we shall go. Now we are now on Feed Sierra Leone. Yes, it's good. But for Feed a country which is rated as the third hungriest country in the world, it's not a 5-year plan. It's 10-15 years. Beyond President Bio, free education should be beyond President Bio. Free quality education should be beyond. Free healthcare should be beyond President former President Anes Kuruma. It's a national plan and it has to continue no matter who that can. Right. Unfortunately, my brother, those are the areas where along the miss with development. And because of the miss and sometimes with this, the government itself and don't know that they spend so much money on one thing. Continuously on one thing. And that thing the next year is the point. Because we don't get sustainability plan. Say, with or without this government or this party in power or this person in power, this kind of development is for Sierra Leone. So you see what did happen. We know the protector. You see the amount of roads within Freetown and other area how it went. It went because we know they enforce the law way for making safer for we. Way for making a last load and above all the other point. The township road is over. Right. 80% of the roads in Freetown they are outdated. Right, if you want to get them correct, we for do all of them. New one. We are still new. We are talking about new one. Again.
Mr. Mambu, as you mentioned about 70 to 80% of the road in a Freetown, in a bad condition. Let's bring you to Pie Street. I don't know if you don't pass that particular bridge there. That bridge there, if rain come, you know, it flood and when a dry season, right now, if you pass on that bridge, they don't dig, you see some of the iron there.
Yeah, not to no more. When we do the last assessment, led by SLRA, ONS, the police, security, and State House, you see there are numbers of bridges in Sierra Leone, in Freetown, for instance, that are under threat. Not that one, they no more. Go on a railway line. 2 of the bridges then are railway line. You see, they don't dig. You understand? Pie Street inside the bridge self, they don't dig. Not to say the people they know they see them, then they see them. But now the resources where if for dinner for let it do perfectly, sometimes they knock in day.
So Mr. Mambu,
you understand? At the same time,
for make them get for really pressure them because we know how the service street bridge may really cause problems. So,
like I say, most of the committees where they deal with roads. We sit down there. where they deal with infrastructure in this country, which you don't do.
So, Mr. Mambu, you tell them about some
no,
of
definitely. No, like I they talk and the public, you know, say, who can they at the tell? No, me want to tell you true now where you sit down before me. But any true that tell we tell somebody, you get for na two side to a coin, even to a true. Me own and the other side and you, the government in you. Then go tell you, say, man, can you imagine this are the road where they go to president in village, Bumper. The bridge don't point here, this are 2 years, will not fix our age. This forget about free time for. When president below they retire and that village they go. He go London, say, you know, America any side. He go say there is I have a village called Ting. And that road for going at Ting, this road at the pass. You understand? The bridge, you see the people waiting they suffer under the bridge don't point 2 years will not fix our aid. The reason is money. Would I go down? How much you for pay? How you for pay? The contract they award Chinese man and can they say A, B, and C. Now it's stock. And you see the number of people. I just come on a route Moribatan. We don't get, according to record, we don't pull, we get the world largest deposits of rutile in this country and bauxite and ayanda that they come out. They don't begin mind according to record, if I not forget, from 1955. My brother, from Jabam, you know, along the Moyamba Highway to rutile, you get up to nearly 10 small bridges. 10 small bridges. When see that rutile, Vimenco and other companies, they carry the material and they work out. Those people are in hell in heaven. The people who then they live in bonds, they are living in hell on earth. When you go there, you see, because road is without road, no development, no they take place. If you work a day, you meet over 20, 30 oil tankers then. When one of them, the oil number where they carry, the cost of her, go able to make 5 of them bring it and day. But none of them company, they're not the maker. However, you ask them and go tell you, say, not to rule responsible. Now, when a government is responsible, I can feel shy for with people then. Why government not go say, okay, if we not make a talk to Rutai. Rutai from Moribatan or from Yago, people, I hear it sometimes, some people then say, oh, I fish there, na frito, my people then. Now the one that will know the worker. Last weekend, I did na Yago. Where the one blind fish where I buy at the cost of 1,200,000. Again for take me family, they feed winner free-turn with family for the next 2 months. Now Yago, when you reach there, you gain fish. Well, as you reach Yago, you don't gain fish. You understand? Because every other nutrient where you need, fish, oil, coconut oil, and the rest of that, they are all packed there on Sunday and Monday. But how do you go to that place? The few way that they go there, wear and tear, and the cost on their road, where they carry, they make a hand. Why? From 1955, we not go sit down now. And the people that tell me, say, Mambu, go tell Pabio, we not go forgive him. If president not make this road, until 2028, where he go left in second time go down. They say we don't go. We now the people of Bond. We don't go agree with President Bill.
You don't deliver
no. It's a me being keep. You understand? Some are not they can even deliver over radio or by letter. Now we are meeting I can tell them. Okay. You understand? And sometimes even the one that wouldn't take close because as you see, the road down in a Bond. Bond is one of the districts in this country where one tar road not they. See how the people there they suffer. All so right. When we not implement the law, the resources all they get is more. We have the experts.
Okay.
You understand? But we cannot deliver much to the extent. The people then where they meet now, SLRA, you meet at the other thing, you go see the relation of frustration because these are highly qualified men and women and they are ready for war. Okay. You can see them on the road 24 hours. Right. But an empty bag cannot stand. There are things where they get limitation on. The new Minister of Works, Dr. Dennis, of course, everybody knows it. Dennis Sandina Ma, where they wear short pair. If you want, we're ready for war. And you don't work, no get boundary. As he can the next 1 minute, he say, Mr. Mambu, I for this, let go. Mr. say, one go see. Up to Kwendu, we are there. And where you go not to inside to carry the sit down. If na camp you don't pull, then it's only the worker go reach there. For let you really see. And the next day I tell her, if you within your time you not do any other thing, let talk to president, let you do the Bow Matrujon road and let them do the bridge. So you see the problem we'll get. Okay. The law the one side, the flow of resources the other side, and the implementation is another side also. But then let me just tell Rifambo how Sierra Leone sit down. Sierra Leone road network we sit down in a Y shape. When you write Y, you see a long tail where they can. Then you get two other one where they come up and now so especially in Freetown, there is no way anybody they enter Freetown except by sea or air. But 99% of who that they enter na Freetown now by road do they use. So from Freetown to Maishaka, now the tail of the Y. Where you reach Maishaka. Now, if you go snap na Maishaka, the runabout, you look na the right, you get one part of the Y where they go so, and you look na the left, you get another part of the Y where they go so. Now the Y shape down there. People then can say Sierra Leone is divided on tribe, on region, or architect, and say no, all those are names, and sometimes propaganda. There is no tribe in Makeni where no Debo and Kenema. There is no tribe in Bo and Kenema where they Makeni where no they inside there. You know they even Kabbalah up to Mongo. You understand? Where they go there, they meet me, they man chief them, Krakow chief them, then Kenema then goes to. But the biggest thing where it divide the northwest and the north southeast, now the road network, and then they with people that they suffer. This not to today with all the talk out. Then I will report. Now if you turn up na Maishaka, you look now you right. The roadway they take Kwendu. From you right, they go my 91, you get Moyamba Johnson, you go Teyama, you get Bo, you get for go Kenema, you go Mano Johnson, Shebema, Daru, Mumbai, Penembu, Kailan, Buedu, and Kwendu. When you look now, your right hand side, now that road now it take you. Now if you look now, your left hand side from Maishaka, you go Obere Johnson, you go Makini, you go Mobuka, you go Makali, Matutuka, till it take you to Kono. The middle, where it divide with Fambu there, no better road no there. And a 5 roads there way for connect them to the north southeast and the northeast. Because when you go Kono on your left hand side, they begin with the north. Then you go na Masingbi. When you cross Masingbi, there is a border between Masingbi, where na Tonkolili district and Kono. When you enter Kono, you don't go na the east. The north southeast, they begin from Maishaka. As you pass, you reach more Moyamba Junction, there is a bridge where now you enter na the south, you go na the east where they enter Kono. Na Kwendu. Road not there. And a 5 major roads and they. From God in memorial, from where God make this world, will not make road any one of them in. The first road and the one where they left from my 91 to Robots. Now short distance. Through Mambu, where they end up Kandon at the highway, through Mambuka. When you make that road, anybody where they come on Makeni, they go Bo Kenema, they use and quick. Before you reach Maishaka, you don't reach. But it well, you know the second one they went in far a bit, na Bo Matutuka, Bo Yile and Matutuka, na long. You understand? But instead now road with the link the north southeast and the northeast, we go connect with together. But instead no make. When you move there, you can't down to Mano Junction. From Mano Junction, they go Tongo. You from Tongo, you go Bumpe. Bumpe down and Kono, you meet the highway. That they self no make. If under that make most people, 99% of program what they get, the Kono people then prefer for go Makeni or more broker than they can Kenema. Because that road so bad and ever in life memorial it no make.
Right.
You understand? So then decide for go there. The other one and the one where you go to Tondola, this is inside Kailan district. From Tondola you dey go Bonibu. From Bonibu now you go through Banajuma till you reach Nakono. It's economic. So then 5 roads then. Now they divide the north, southeast on the right and the northeast on the left. Where economic. Up to this time, we still they talk to with people then. Say, we need to connect these 2 regions together. And one of the 2 we go connect with quickly now the road. Any one of these road we need for focus, attention plan for let make it because it will benefit this country. The people of Makeni own Bo and Kenema. People of Bo and Kenema, now they get Makeni. We are all brother and sister. Now one country, one people, now they will all day. Okay. You know, they put one person in Pana and we all day inside. But my brother, as you see, Sierra Leone how it divided and not by tribal. The tribal they Makeni, they Bo and Kenema. Whether they Bo and Kenema, they Makeni, Eboku, a large number. But the road is a problem. And when road are they destroyed, we will not get them. We cost. It's too high. Now fear don't go to 30,000 per liter. If you ride on smooth road, sometimes the cost will be reduced. The burning rate quickly reduced. But we say you got long distances because one bypass road is bad, you cannot go anywhere. And at that, up to this time, we talk to government, say, and this time round, the ball now they to President Bio in court. Before 2028, let us get at least one of these roads being tarred before you left office. In addition to Boma True and Ting Road.
All right, let's continue for the with me inside the program. Members, say you didn't host. Can call on the number 077981981. Call and give yourself your contribution and self show Mr. Mambu or explain some of the area them where you self don't see we get a lot of petroleum so that then go channel some of them concern there to the right authority. We not get better time inside the program. The number is 077981981. Call and give contribution inside the program as we look inside the road sector of the country. Would you go?
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Where the call from?
The call from Central. I'm inside. Mr. Mambu, I don't say you'll be doing another commission of inquiry. You don't talk about a whole lot of roads. But I ask you this question: the town roads in Abakalo, where then you need to jump to a group of companies. We inside that commission of inquiry, we never find out to say the contract came from 16.9 million before the marriage starts to 42 million. Where the commission really recommend for make gentle be part of that money because you say no, so they don't make it as they may plan. But this is why the questions will be supposed to ask in that election because somebody not don't get that kind of contract. If it was good but at the commission of inquiry, then for cover in tax, if they don't let you won't be million in future. So tell me what you know happen, we then go there. You can also make mention of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your contribution. The number is 077981981. Good afternoon.
Hello, yeah. Good afternoon. Hello.
Your name and inside the call from.
Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon. Highly connected solution. I want just to read this program. I really like the program. I just Mambu, let God help him. You understand? It's you really see like that somebody when is Leone is ready for push this country. Let God bless them. You know one thing, I want just make a reference on this root issue, yeah? Just I want to make that put back that na you fight. You understand? Some of them major roads there, like this one from here to go Panama, or from here to Masaka, Makeni. You know, we see a lot of roads there. They can get Panda and roads there, yeah. Where people there for there, immediately when they get their holes, then they go make a patch. They make that hole. They can patch us. When they must start down, yeah, we don't go.
The number is 077981981. Good afternoon. Your name and where you call from.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Would he get you?
Yes, hi, sir. So, yeah, something I want to ask Pastor Mambu for me, but I give you a life also area. If you don't want to go na Kukuna, you have to come there. Then go up that would be back. That would wait to time to Kate, don't call Madina after Madina Kukuna. You feel all the I want to ask Dr. Pastor Mambu, if you don't go up that area, they back. Or that area, they back now. So, I mean, I need that area. That would be back. It is for me. I want to ask if you know about that would be, sir.
All right, plenty. Thank you for your contribution. The number is 077981981. Good afternoon. Your name and where you call from.
Hello.
Your name and where you call from.
Yeah, 1921.
Yeah, good afternoon. Your name and where you call from.
Yeah, no, Mr. Mambo, you know the studio. I want to ask about this Leicester Road. I see there is 7 today, but when I get back, we're gonna let our midday. Follow will know about the Lester Road and the money business for the contract not go through it. No, it go to suffer a lot of Lester Road. Them don't dig deep here and left the road. If you go to right now, if they have to say, so follow will tell you which are the contract of Lester Road. Again, so I don't know if you get any idea about this Lunge Bridge because if it's after election and the group it starts immediately. If you get any idea about that place, thank you very much.
All right, plenty. Thank you for your contribution. 077981981. Calling you contribution inside the program, Mr. Mambu there for answer to some of our questions you want to go ask. Good afternoon. Your name and inside the call from. Please, where you call? Come out now. You radio set because you
from my color to my Bambridge, Segu, and Mayamba district. So and now big Mayamba now the shortcut road down there. And that road there now don't make the fine bridge. Oh, all they call it but the road not even sir. Then in which plan road for that road there, let me know because now they district and they will born. So and I go left for now everything they gone for that particular road there. We glad for the bridge. So happy for the bridge. So then put the owner like international bridge. Anyway, but the road not sir. So the road awkward. So go left for there, Mr. Mambu put effort and then he will tell the government, then he will tell you what you for do for that road day now as the drive is in the camp. Thank you.
Plenty, thank you for your contribution. 077981981. Good afternoon. Your name and inside the call from.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Gasana. They call from Freetown.
Go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. We get you, sir.
Yeah, I just want highlight something no more. Me, I born in Maburka. And I want to suggest say from 91, then get one road where they pass through Magbas from a sugar factory area, where they come bust in Maburka town. If you then do that road day properly, it will save the motorists a lot of mileage for letting around to Masaka Junction again for Bukono. It will easier for come out from that 91 area, can find Magbas area, then can join Maburka for Bukono. That's my contribution. I want to highlight no more if the people take attention to that. Thank you very much.
Plenty, thank you for your contribution. We'll take few calls and come back now to the studio. 077981981. Good afternoon. Your name and who the call from?
Hello?
Good afternoon. Your name and who the call from?
I call from Tonko Linda Madina.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, will get you? 7981. Who the call from? So you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Good afternoon. Your name and who the call from? All right. As we wait for a few calls inside the program. 077981981. Good afternoon. Your name and who the call from? All right, Mr. Mambu, you don't get some question there.
Yeah, thank you very much, my brothers. First of all, I now come for show now the figure for almost one of the roads and costs. I really not be calm, but generally, I can tell anybody say from what we know that any road that they make will not get bridge. 5 years ago, if it cost $1 million, we not get bridge. If you get bridge, it could be about $1.5 million. We not get bridge. It's general. It's possible it could not pass because of so many other factors. What I know as we talk road work, they go on, even though small now watalo, because Gentu don't increase for do some of the other roads than way they don't do before. Camont Road and the rest of others. We don't go there, we see and we get people then there. And also one Pambo Awale una know say we go 190 kingdom at this country. Meanwhile, she done not only that to get a team now all the 190 kingdom, but physically I don't reach now all the kingdom headquarter town at this country. And most of the towns then where they about 95%. When Mr. said they go directly, not what the team or the board member where they at the district they tell me, but the one where Mr. they drive. And they go see them. So all roads where the turbo I don't work at they are no waiting at the condition. They work now Watalo they go on. It's slow. If I don't done before this time, but I can tell you now free on fear is also as a cost of the kind resources we perhaps Gentoo in company also they take. And I be forget for tell una this. One of the reasons we get where a day for then cost them they also high. From what we know, there may be other way we don't know. But what we know now they talk about is the fact that because, for instance, in a government-funded project, not only road, electricity, water, housing, and the rest of it, why then projects and go take if now government, if your government not get the money for pay the contractor in time or as per schedule, that work they stop. The work they stop because the money where they give the contractor at one time where it don't it stop am. Gentoo is also inclusive, not only in Paviford, Seacom, and the rest, even the international company, they all get. Now, so that they do. Where the money where you get, we say they stop, it done, inflation can. Some of them contractors, where you with the trouble, the time where they be awarded, fear now be 6,000 leones per liter. Today is 30,000, and so many other things don't go up. So when that cost there, and then present that cost they get to government, if you don't get the additional cost it take, then a reason why he cut road and laundry to K road it don't take because it go inside so many more every year the cost they high so when government not pay the donor not pay it go left it go delay and the more it delay and the more it spoil. So when you want camp make am again it go increase the cost. So Waterloo, I know I go into the course. Why Gentoo go into politics and in right for go into politics? Otherwise, Supreme Court for don't ban none. But why the court no ban Gentoo? It get right for go. Whether it be go APC or go SLPP, na Mohammed Gentoo in your right that one day.
Somebody mention Kukuna.
Okay, no, now they are the now make a kind quick. You understand? Solution will not really and not be actually get motor because the line be too bad. This one, Kunkuna Madina, this first of all, they one of the contractors that will get when I get to Mohammed Gentoo in hometown down there along that road. It did it. You understand? I know how bad that road is. There was a time where government be spend really huge money for let them do what they call for open and re-gravel 40 road. That road was one of them. However, the project not be end because of one reason or another. So as you see, the road bad. I know say from Cambia, Kukuna, Samu, the road and all them bad. They go to Madina. I don't go to Madina. I don't use that road. They go to Kaba Ferry. I don't come on down to Kamakwe from the end across the water. So it's bad. Man, you would have talked that the road bad as they talk. This person talk about Leicester Road. Yes, agree. The people then also Leicester Road, like the other people then they said they suffer. Now one Chinese company CRIG now they do that road. This year alone we don't do through independent assessment and we present the report to SLRA. You know, however, it's just the inflow of the resources we government for paying.
So what's in the report?
No, the report says that the government for pay the Chinese for let them continue for do the job because you talk resource constraint, my brother. You talk to the Chinese, you have meetings with them. I work on fruits from which side the petrol station they let's take on to academy. In fact, we went Chinese and the candy we reach some of the bad side and no one will see. I say no, with the sian. When it rains, the water they go now, people they home, they suffer, some house and broke, you know, because they don't cause drainage and they where they don't cover the some died and they were the electric poles, they all tin up there, you know, some are actually naked. We go there, we see and we walk over 2, 3, 4 hours from Leicester Peak right down to Academy. Now waka there on. It's the same one for Sasa and Louis Road to Moriton. Now the same company, CRIG, now then they do one. They be done with gravel, they're not tired, but all hands on the resources where they get. They tell you, say, Mr. Mambu, if the government pays us the required amount, we will be able to complete this road within this time. So that's not the situation. And it's a situation for many others. Somebody talk about longer bridge. You know, there was a time where they talk about Bumbuna, they say, pass the war done. But today we enjoy Bumbuna lights. By the time former President Kabade, they come out now power, they don't go 95% of Bumbuna, even though it don't take 40 years. Bumbuna Hydro Project. I was in charge of the relocation and monitor of them. Which side they talk about then Bumbuna? Deep as it is, I don't go there. Reach right at the bed of the water. Which side they supply with light. I don't enter there. I not only can talk on something. I want to go see me. Say, and the one that wait and the engineer then you go tell them say no, Mambu be don't kaya. And another car you tell me this. I they go there for go sing. So also is Longe Bridge. President Biobi don't announce am. What you want for do now for let pray to God. It may not happen in the days of President Bio because we see a lot of the other internal ones say we get. You see the kind of way where they analyze them. We go pray, let God give long life, strength, energy, get a team and the money for let them do the one there, including the Bupe Bridge and the road where they go to a home village because when you retire and day they go. So the Longe Bridge, like we all know, it don't make am. Like somebody in the 40s where we make say, they do Bumuna hydro. Till after 40, 50 years, God answer with today we enjoy with them. If possible after President Bill, somebody will call and make Longe Bridge. So, but that I not go talk much about. But now that it is a pronouncement, as a citizens and good citizens of this country, let us pray that Longe Bridge one day becomes a reality. Yeah. This was it about Mambu Bridge. These are the key areas that we don't move on, and definitely we don't move on this. The kind of bridge where they make President Bill don't go launch and you see from Songo to that bridge to Rotifun up to Moyamba. I don't go hold meeting. Before they open that bridge there, I hold meeting with Chief Coca, na Rotifun. I go hold meeting with the council. I hold meeting with the civil society and the media. We one of the radio stations in Moyamba, they will hold meeting. I drive there. Some of them I take them inside motorcar. We can't road to phone. We have a long meeting. And I show them the plan. Sometimes advocacy they can at a time. At the time when they open that bridge, you can't do that kind of bridge there. That road they where it well. If at that road with the maker, the pressure on the Mashaka Bo Road it will reduce because that's a short distance. For go Moyamba. So we don't push on, but you put on the EU, the CSC, what then they do, the NAO, National Authorizing Office, what then they in charge, and by extension, SLRA and Ministry of Finance, they all go say no, there are plans on the way, there is way for low find resources to not get ahead. So that's the situation. We are highly interested in that road, like we get interest in all other road because road is development. No development at the world not take place without a proper road. One of the reasons why I still continue for poor is because our infrastructure are poor. If you look at the ADB, Africa Development Bank website or World Bank, they will tell you the status of infrastructure in Africa. And one of the Africa countries is Sierra Leone. If you look on the road, you can see where we are. But we will try. Now, sometimes they can say the money. My 91 robot Moboka road. I think I be talk about this more. My brother will ask this question in no area. But I can tell you, I say also na bad politics. Now I make this road not make it. Meanwhile, she don't so Mambu. If na me get money, if I go able to talk to President Bio today, after he don't do more, he don't do Matu road. The next one I go let complete quick na this road. Because I know the importance, like many other, how short it is and how it link with all. But I can tell you, in 2016 towards 2017, when election they come, sometimes in development advocacy, you heighten it. You do the development and coincide with the issues that way then they come. I mean, know at that time under President Kuruma, how many ministers then become Tonkolili? With these are cabinet ministers, I don't want to talk about the honorable member. And how many promises were made for get that road connected? Because the people in 1991, then they suffer. When I saw some delay in this, one Saturday like we eat, I just pick up my phone, I called some of the leaders. I called the Tonkolili council chairman then, I called the paramount chief na Leone, and I called the media man then 91. The chairman of the motor drivers union and the bike riders say, let us hold a meeting in 91. Let we appeal to the government before election 2018. Let they can't do this road because this is a road where they don't promise the people of 91 and Mobroka. Before they left me office on that Saturday morning, on that Saturday afternoon for Go 91, I get nearly over 20, 30 calls from every higher quarter of Sierra Leone. Oh no, Mambu, you want to go election, they can, you want to go convince with people that are 91, let them not vote for we. Now, so even when I talk to the honorable paramount chief before they reach there, by the time we reach there, will not better. Then leader they all no attend the meeting. We hold the meeting above. Radio above the conference center. Drivers unions were there. Motor bike riders were there, and a lot of other communities stakeholders. They say, Mr. Man, what you wanna come say we so now for we own benefit. Now for we all as a people and as a country. But believe me, then leader they want not go there. You know, this is just true. You see how they call people, then these records are there. Some of them are record. Na 91, he called the station manager and a radio bar. Na 91, in conference hall, they will hold the meeting. And they will guide them at the media and at the whole night. They were very supportive. In fact, before they can, they don't announce the drivers union, the leadership don't go motorbike because they know how they suffer. Some women's group, they don't carry. In fact, by the time at the break and they almost want to take me motor car. I say, no, this is development and for we all. So let's galvanize and see how we engage with government for let them can do this road before 2018 election. That was it, and it.
All right, Mr. Mambu, now get better time again inside the program. What will be a word of message to government and Sierra Leone where they listen you presently?
Yes, first of all, let we all look at the importance of road to other developments then. You know, the road not get alternative. There are others who can get alternative, but it not get. If route not there for rich, which side development, where if for care development go, believe me, there will be problem. The health, when we look at the health sector, one of the bigger challenges we get at the lower level are them peripheral health unit and the other community. Now the road network, even the ambulances, why then they pull quick? Because if Bele woman, you know, in Bele Heart, it ain't a suburb like for instance Kobola. For let go take Bele woman na Kobola, for Briankana Kabala, you know, take that a whole day worker. A whole day worker. Because even if na new ambulance in the pool. So if we want really get with development trajectory into focus, you know, as a country, the voice of politics, the voice of no election, the voice of any other thing, let's us have a master plan for the road network, starting from the trunk road to the feeder road and the other connecting roads. You understand? The team that when they try, SLRA, they try, RMFA, you know, sometimes you can go to RMFA, it goes to them, you go see the CEO, it almost a hold in here, because they want move. You go to the local councils where they support them, they go say, oh no, Mr. Mambu, now so support they don't give it. But this one say where RMFA don't give it, it cannot take all to this level because of cost and so many other related things there. So let we see how we go really focus on our road development, because most of them don't above. We don't make strive. It not be there so before. A lot of tribe, like for instance, everywhere President Biodonka, we now don't get the liquid wheat to regents, 4-lane, standard, Chinese aid. You see how they work. They don't connect from regents to Jue. That one they also they work. But as we also see it, you know, when they make that regent Jue road, I tell the Chinese and the government, we are with people there from Kosoton to Hastings Johnson, we not do one. But it was done. But then they don't award also the contract to Gento, and I think say they don't make a very big bridge where the bridge can be one of the biggest problem. Last week go observe it, we don't see how they don't begin to from the township of Hastings. I think some now, but it's also slow because when rain can you go Kosoton, it will just be say Kosotan, which are Western education for free time. Other the people that come on, they are not part of this country. When you reach down at Kosuta. So we they continue for engage because government also can one ball, they talk one ball, but a hand can short. You know, not that the president then, this government said they don't want to do, I know they can really do. I ask how we are they talk and so they permitting and so are they tell them because they provide all the evidences given. When the new minister come, he called me, we go there, we get an up to 250-page report highlighting the status of the road in Sierra Leone. He say, oh man, you not sabi this road, you not sabi. You say, no, if you want to work on development, the first way for develop a road network. Even the one where they go now your bedroom. You know, if it be just that you can easily grab, walk out on and come back. We also want to talk to government, let them increase the fare charges for road user charges, you know, where RMFA they get. Because it's so small, that wetin dem pay dem for do with massive inflation. We are the least in Africa. Wetin we dey pay? The data dey, and we don share am even with Ministry of Finance. See, if we also not take some of this move, it will be bad. There's also need for reform of the laws. You know, the SLRA Act, the RMFA Act, and the SLRSA, where they deal with road safety, they are interrelated, and they are brothers and sisters, Alassane. So, if they accident, they not review them, so that everybody go actually play the game according to its part. Even the money collection and distribution will actually be a major problem, because as we see, the massive road work, most of the fund for local council Napa road they go, especially the province. So then the places they really they cry. The township, a lot of improvement from be. As I can tell you, say we are extremely happy with the kind of work with Pavifort from 2020-21 and Kenema. You know, do it too, because one Kenema, the whole township to be tired. But there are a lot of effort. It also they go McKinney. Okay. But however, the one for McKinney way are not satisfied. To be day for yesterday, they McKinney for the last 3 days. You know, the Makama Road, where they go up to the hospital, when at the regional hospital, is still bad. It has not been connected. And they talk to government, let them put all other things out. Let that road be tarred from the main road up to the hospital. You know, we saw some work towards the end, but we need that road to be, really overdue. With people then that part of the country also then they suffer. Of course, I can talk about the McKinney Kabbalah Road. We were there last week. Indoor already done now. McKinney Kabbalah Road, one do now. We have to remove all the tar and do one totally. We hope and pray that because EU will be the fund the most of the trunk roads say now they want move to feeder roads and other things, but then we continue for talk to the EU and World Bank for let them fund some of them, because then trunk road and government of Sierra Leone not get the money for funding. Okay. Now that partners be attempt for McKinney Kamakwe road, they're not able. Up to today, brother and sister then Kamakwe then they cry. Oh, we know to Sierra Leone we not get road. But say power will not get the road, but now how the system be happen, you know, that don't mean say enough for change. Any government is continuity. What if they left now this part they do? What if below they left now the next policy they do? Right. So we now the civil society infrastructure for development, if we want to get to health system correct, let us build the road. Right. We want to get the water system correct, let's build the road. Okay. The energy system correct, let's build it. Above all, let there be coordination. Let every sector know say the primacy. Who they in charge of road and Sierra Leone Road Authority. You want to do anything on that for day. And government also for allow them people for function, especially the enforcement of the right of way, which is very bad in the city. You see the city dirty, how it is. That's not the reason. Who's enough for put sand they put on? Who's enough for sell ticket and they sell on? Every jack and gym they put and sell anywhere. You know, simply because again, where SLRA 1 and 4, somebody somewhere will say, please, this now we party people there. This now we own people there. So we hope and pray that we'll get the road, the one we want. And when I shall say, as here, so they work on development, they work on road, on health, you know, on feed salon. This is a massive project where government don't carry with initiative. We all the supporters. We put big hand into it. But let's not make it a 5-year plan. Let it be 5-10-year plan, so that it will benefit the people of Sierra Leone.
Plenty thank you, Mr. Bambu, joining me inside the program this afternoon. In name Charles Mambu, Chairman, Board of Directors, Infrastructure for Development, as in the program this afternoon for look at different road them across the country. Plenty thank you, sir, joining me inside the program this afternoon.
Thank you, my people there. And of course, now when I get it, thank you. Man, I want to say this before I go. Man, I really want to comment 98.1. You know, it don't say I don't camp on this program. It's over a year, 2 or 3 years. But for you now, the young one then, I can tell, I'm sure anti-asthma and others, Dr. Spencer got release in me. Before Salon today they come, during the war time, we began what we call security talk. By then, 98 day now, signal here now we by force. That security talk every Sunday to 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, it helped build a lot of confident and bring also contribute greatly through 98.1 for bring peace. So after that period now, I think management decided to change from security to Salon Chidi. I want to commend you for that. Thank you very much.
Let's thank you, Mr. Mambu.